Hi guys, welcome back to Steep Riderz. We've got a little bit of a different bike with us today. This is the Yamaha Tricity 125, a 2019 version, and I'm going to hand you over to Chris, whose bike it is, and he will tell you more about it.
Hi, I'm Chris and this is my Yamaha Tricity 125 2019 edition. Yes, it's got three wheels, but it is a real motorcycle, I promise you. It has quite a pedigree. This is what I tell people when they point and laughing at me in the street when I'm riding it. It was actually designed by Valentino Rossi's race engineer. He wanted to come up with a bike that was basically for the novice rider, and then obviously take the advancements into further afield, which he then did. So basically he designed the Sileya two-wheel system at the front to give it that extra bit of stability, and to help him do that he actually enlisted his wife to help him do that. She'd never ridden a bike in her life, which I find hard to believe considering what her husband does for a living. And basically he asked her what bike she would like to ride as a novice, and this is the as it's been called by other people, the abomination they came up with. I bought the bike last year basically to get me to work, into the gym. Yes, I do go to the gym, I just hide it well. Yeah, and it's been great as a little commuter bike. It's absolutely fantastic, and it does good long distance as well. Braking wise, it's got a UBS system, a unified braking system. So basically, in all honesty, I use this brake lever because obviously it's an automatic, there's no clutch, and I don't use this brake lever because this brake lever controls both sets of brakes. I think it gives you like a 70-30 ratio or something like that. So yeah, the braking is absolutely fantastic, although you probably expect that given that there's like two lots of independent brake discs at the front of the bike. Miles per gallon and things like that, basically it's got a 7-litre tank. It cost me about £7 to fill it up, get about 130 miles out of it. And when I'm riding sensibly, generally about 100 miles when I'm not. Yeah, you can ride this not sensibly, believe it or not. Speed, on a good day, I've had 71, 72 out of it. I was probably a bit thinner then, and it was probably less windy than it is usually. But average, probably about 65 to 68. When I've took it on long trips to Wales of like 200 miles in a day, and it'll average out doing 65 on a national speed limit road, no problem whatsoever. So it's quite nippy. Accelerates fast. The only time I've ever been beaten from the traffic lights was by somebody in a Volkswagen Golf who took offence at me filtering down the side of it. But generally, yeah, pulls off faster than even most other bikes I've come across. So it's deceptively quick is probably the best way to put it. Horsepower wise, it is, depending on where you look on the internet, it's somewhere between 10 and 12 horsepower. I believe the 2019 model is like 12.1 horsepower, which from what I understand is like the upper level for 125 scooters. So that's probably why it's quite quick off the line. ABS is standard, which I believe is a Euro 4 directive for all new bikes anyway. Suspension is really good on it, as you'd expect with having two independent suspension systems at the front. A lot of people seem to think that it's all still one system despite having two wheels, but it isn't. Each wheel is completely independent. It's basically its little brother is the Yamaha NMAX scooter, and it's basically got two Yamaha NMAX front ends together at the front from what I understand. So yeah, the suspension's fantastic. I've been down roads on this bike and then been down roads on another scooter and wondered why my bones are falling out of my body. So it's really comfortable like that. Weight wise, she's a little bit heavy, it's probably the best way to put it. I believe she's like 164 kilograms wet. You definitely notice the difference getting on this compared to another scooter. I've ridden another Chinese scooter which is considerably lighter, and it feels like I'm riding an orange box basically. But when you're riding, and it's fine for filtering and stuff like that, but when you're riding and weaving out of traffic, you don't really notice it. It's only when you first like get on her and stuff like that you notice the weight there. But apart from that, yeah, pretty sturdy bike. Compared to a two-wheeled bike, so I've only ever ridden really on the road a Lexmoto Titan, which is a 125 scooter as well, similar in size, but the weight is considerably different. This is definitely more stable as it's aimed at the novice rider. It's also basically marketed towards bigger riders like myself, basically, because I say with a little bit less confidence when this is my first bike. Compared to the bike, yeah, like I can lean this round corners no problem, but when I ride a two-wheel bike, I'm probably a little less confident on it. So it's a 4-stroke liquid cooled engine as well, which seems to surprise a lot of people. you know, especially in the newer model. There is an older model Tricity which is slightly smaller and doesn't have all those features. Lights wise, it's got the LED lights down the front, which are amazingly bright compared to other bikes. They give you quite a decent amount of vision at the front, even compared to the older Tricity bike. The bulb in the older Tricity is terrible compared to this, but yeah, lights the road up pretty well, and it's quite distinctive. So I'm told by people who have ridden behind, they're like, oh, I can always tell it's you behind me because it's got like a V shape to the lights. I've had the bike a year now, and as my first bike, it's been absolutely fantastic. Absolutely no problems with it, really. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. The only real negative is that it draws a crowd. If you're ever at the lights, people tend to do a double take. If you don't ride it past schools, because school children are unbelievably cruel when they're pointing and laughing at you. Mobility scooter, as I've heard it called. If you aren't somebody who likes people pointing and laughing at you, it might not be the bike to go for. But apart from that, performance wise, everything I've had out of it has been absolutely fantastic. Storage wise, pretty good. It's got enough storage under the seat for a full face helmet. Some bikes do have a bit more, but say there's enough in there. Comes with a 39 litre top box. That was an extra though, obviously, which obviously holds more than enough. Also comes with a nice little cupboard here with a cigarette lighter in it that you can easily add a USB port into, which is what I've done. And it also comes with a nifty handbag hook if you are that way inclined. So there's also an Antifest system where you can just push there and it locks your ignition off, and you need the actual key, if I can do it, which I never can, to reopen it again. Hook for your shopping or your handbag, if you so wish, and the compartment here for your phone has a cigarette lighter as standard. I just added a USB plug in for it, that, and then under the seat, plenty of room for a full face helmet, and then your fuel tank underneath as well.